Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with my weekly bitch, my back issue comic haul. Before I get started, and I'm using this as my background today too, is that I just want to express my my remorse and my sympathy in losing one of my childhood heroes. Growing up in the 70s, Star Trek was huge to me, and I mean that was out before Star Wars, and just can remember watching those episodes over and over and over and over, and they really made an imprint on me as a child. And by far, my favorite character on that cast was Spock. His coolness and his strength and his intelligence and his ability to always just think his way out of all the troubles was just very endearing to me. And yeah, I just want to extend my sympathy and prayers and thoughts to the Leonard Nimoy family, and live long and prosper. All right, moving on. Let's do the obligatory, I guess, hot book, movie, TV, that sort of a thing real quick, huh? All right, so I don't know how I missed this, if it has been announced or if it hasn't been announced, or they're going to be announcing it, but apparently they are saying that the cheetah is going to be the main character in the upcoming Wonder Woman movie. We kind of all knew that, but now I think it's pretty much a done deal. So I just wanted to run over the different versions of Cheetah. Some of these books I've shown as recently as last week, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over this real quick. So the first version was came out in Wonder Woman 6 in the Golden Age, and I obviously don't have that book, but her name was Priscilla Rich, and I do have her first Silver Age appearance, which is in Wonder Woman 160. The next version, the second version, was Debbie Domain, and her first appearance was in Wonder Woman 274. The third version, and probably the one that most people are agreeing they will go with, is the Barbara Minerva version, who makes her first appearance in Wonder Woman 7, and then as Cheetah in number 8. And I would also suggest picking up number 9. It's just a killer cover. But there's also two other versions. There's the male version, who is Sebastian Ballesteros, and he makes his appearance in Wonder Woman 170. And then there's another version who makes her appearance in Wonder Woman 606, and the name is escaping me right now, and I don't own 606. But that's the versions of the Cheetah for you. All right. Supergirl, they cast a couple other characters, and probably the most prominent or notable one is Cat Grant by Calista Flockhart. And Cat made her first appearance in Adventures of Superman 424. This is the first issue of the Adventures of Superman. Still drives me crazy. This is, in my opinion, is Superman Volume 1. And I have to keep looking back and forth when I'm inventorying my books. Superman Volume 1, Adventures of Superman, it drives me crazy. All right. Okay, another character that they are going to have apparently in the Supergirl show is Toyman. And Toyman has had 5 versions himself. The first version is Winslow Schott, who makes his first appearance, I believe, in Superman 4. Regardless, it's a Golden Age Superman. His first Silver Age appearance is in this book right here, the 80-page Giant number 11. The second version is Jack Nimble, the second Toyman, who makes his appearance in Action Comics 432. The third version, and my guess is they're either going to do Jack Nimble or they're going to do this version, Winslow Scott, makes his appearance in Superman 13 out of Volume 2. There's a fourth version, Hiro Akamura, I believe is how you pronounce that, who makes his version, or appearance, excuse me, in Superman 177, Volume 2. And then the last one, which actually is an android, the fifth version, is in this version, makes his appearance right here in Action Comics 837. Hope that helps a little bit. All right. I touched on this rumor, and this is still just a rumor, Nothing is substantial yet, but I just want to touch on it again, is that they are exploring possibly using other versions of Green Lantern for the Justice League movie than just, Hal Jordan or Guy Gardner or John Stewart. And two of them that they're mentioning, and the first one I mentioned this one back in probably late fall, early winter, is Jessica Cruz. And they are actually attaching a name to this, to the actress who would play this character. And believe it or not, it's Michelle Rodriguez of the Fast and Furious franchise. And I think she was in Resident Evil and a few other movies. So, and Jessica Cruz makes her first appearance in this book right here, Green Lantern 20 out of the New 52. And I would suggest having this book in your collection regardless. It's also the last issue of the epic and long-running Jeff Johns run on Green Lantern. So, and the other character that they discussed in this particular article was Jade, who makes her first appearance right here in All-Star Squadron 25. All right, so moving along here. Speaking of TV or whatever, Matt Fraction and his wife, his name escapes me, please forgive me, is Zdarsky. Is that? I don't think that's his wife. But anyways, I apologize. I should know that. But apparently, Sex Criminals has been optioned for a TV show, or I think a TV show. It's on Universal, I believe. And so this book is getting a little bit of an uptick. And another one that's going to be, I believe this one's going to be a movie, is Terraformars for Mars is being optioned. And this first appearance is in this book right here, the 2014 Free Comic Book Day of All You Need Is Kill. All right, so okay, that's about it, I believe. So let's do the first undervalued book for the week out of my collection, and that would be this book right here, Marvel Team Up 22. And the reason I'm showing this book has nothing to do with the story at all, but what makes this book interesting and sought after, and people put a little bit more value on it, is, speaking of value, maybe that's an appropriate word to use, is that in the 70s when this came out, they had value stamps in these books. And they went through all the Marvel books for quite a few years, not quite a few, but for a few years. And what some people don't realize, well, what these value stamps were is you would cut them out of the book, kind of like these Piggly Wiggly stamps, and you would put them in a book, and you would mail the book to Marvel, and you would receive a prize. If these books are very sought after, and they don't come up very often, but what some people don't realize is that these stamps, the characters appeared in multiple books. All of them appeared in at least 2 books, and some of the stamps appeared in at least as many as 4 and 5 books, with the exception of one. This one right here, Byrah, B-Y-R-A-H, who is a Submariner villain, appears only in this book here, Marvel Team Up 22. So to find this book with the Marvel stamp is somewhat harder to find, and people put a little bit more value on this book because of that. So hope that makes sense. All right. So, excuse me. Did not do a, well, no, let's do this. Let's do, oh, there was one other book I wanted to mention too. With Star Wars being as popular as it is now with the release of the new Marvel one, is I saw this on one of the Google Plus sites, one of the speculating sites, is that they mentioned, and I thought it was pretty cool, is this is the first time that Star Wars crosses over into a Marvel book, which happens to be this book right here, Uncanny X-Men 245. But if you see right, I hope you can see that, there's Boba Fett, there's Yoda, there's even Hawkman over on this side here. I hope if you can see it well enough. But just really cool. I think this might be MODOK right here. I may be wrong. But yeah, there's Boba Fett. There's Jabba the Hutt. And so very cool. Even E.T. right there. E.T. is right there. So that's kind of cool. Uncanny X-Men 245. And there is a J.C. Penney version reprint of this, which does have a little more value. Now I can tell as a UPC would still have a Spider-Man, but it says 30th anniversary or something like that on there. So if you have that one, good for you. All right. Okay. Let's move along now. Got a book from my good friend Tom Ryan, who sent me Grimjack #1. Did not have this book, and so very, very happy to have that in my collection. Thank you so much, Tom. Also did a trade with another one of my good friends, Foolkiller Steve, Foolkiller 5150. Got from him Avengers 26, I believe that is. 27, 28, and 29. Got Nova 18, Batman and the Outsiders #7, and Uncanny X-Men 13, Suicide Squad 10, Batman Eternal 18, 19, and 20. Dark Avengers 180, 181, 179. Sorry, these are out of order. And 177. Also received Fear Itself, Book of the Skull. That's a one-shot. Secret Avengers 14, 15, 13. And #5, Venom #3, another Suicide Squad 10, and this one was the one I was very happy with, the Suicide Squad #2. Oh boy, have you looked at the price on eBay on the variant, the 1 in 25 variant for the new Suicide Squad #1? That book is snuck up and just gotten on fire there. Power Girl #6, and Cable 54. So thank you, Tom, and thank you, Steve. And Tom, Steve, and Rich, your books will be going out tomorrow, Saturday. So I'm sorry that my child was too sick. I couldn't get to the post office. But let's get on here. I didn't buy a ton of books this week. So I was, because of my child being sick, but I was able to sneak out and run to a half-price books and picked up a few books. Picked up World's Finest 247, Superman for the Animals. Never seen it. Thought it was kind of cool. Picked up Spider-Verse Team Up #2. I think this is the second Spider-Gwen on a cover, I think. But it's still appropriate with Spider-Gwen coming out last week. This one, very happy to find. Detective 369, Neil Adams cover, and it's the 4th Batgirl appearance. Another Neil Adams. This is Brave and the Bold 95, and it's the first appearance of Ruby Rider also. Found Batman Adventures, The Lost Years #1. I like those adventure books. Batman 220, another Neil Adams cover. Down to needing 10, I believe, 9 or 10 books to finish my Batman run from 200 till 770. Was able to find Batman 608. This is the first part of the Hush run, but this is the New York Post exclusive. You can see right on the bottom there. There's also a Toy Biz exclusive that I'm missing now, and then the RRP, which good luck with me ever getting that one, are the only two that I'm missing now of that. And the book I was probably the most happiest... Ooh, jeez. I always do this. Sorry. And the book I was the most happiest to find, Avengers 23. Why I'm happy to pick this book up is I'm now down to needing 10 Avengers to finish my Series 1 run. And I have a consecutive run of Avengers from 16 until it ends and goes on to Series 2, 3, 4. I've got all of those too, so very happy about that. All right, so moving on to the last undervalued spotlight out of my collection. And this, I'll have to admit, is a huge speculation. It's a huge leap. I have nothing to substantiate this except for a gut feeling. And so please don't take this to run to the bank or any of that. But I just have a gut feeling, like I said, that this just might happen. And I'm going to preface it with this. What does Captain America 168 and Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1 have in common? Besides the fact that they're both first appearances, these characters both appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Helmut Zemo and Luke Cage. And what else they have in common is that they both led this group right here, the Thunderbolts, who make their first appearance in this book right here, Hulk 449. And the reason I'm thinking that this might become a TV, leaning more towards TV, but movie, is that this could be Marvel's answer to the Suicide Squad, which or at least I think, is going to be wildly successful. And it's both teams are based with supervillains doing good. That's sort of a pretense. So, like I said, it could be Marvel's answers to DC's Suicide Squad. With two of the characters already in the cinematic universe, it wouldn't be that hard to lock them into another TV or movie appearance. Not only that, but the Incredible Hulk movie, we know it's going to come out, but they haven't announced what that story is going to be. And I myself, being in this camp, would love it to be Planet Hulk. However, who's to say it couldn't be this story, where they use this as the introduction to the Thunderbolts? All right. And just all these things are just leading to me to believe that it's a gut feeling. Not only that, but the Thunderbolts replaced the Avengers for a while, so maybe Marvel could play off that, because we know that the Avengers are wildly successful with non-comic book readers as well. So they could brand this as the new Avengers or second Avengers or whatever, just to get people that aren't into comics to watch it or whatever the case. And they could use it as a platform to test new characters if it was on a TV version, that sort of a thing. So, I don't know. Like I said, nothing to corroborate it, nothing to substantiate it, just speculation, just a gut feeling, that sort of a thing. But regardless, I think Hulk 449 should be in your collection. It's still, the Thunderbolts are very successful in comics itself. So, kind of rambling. All right, so this is Vin Crew saying thank you so much for watching. And I thank everybody who does watch my my videos and takes time to comment and that sort of a thing. It really does mean a lot to me, and so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Signing off.